Hey everyone, this is Chris Benton with the Chris and Sandy Show. We get up close and personal with some amazing guests throughout the entertainment industry. And today, like I say on every episode, we got a great show for you. We got Audie Cooper and Mosack coming on from Nic Tailor Underwear. And it's a little different than what we're used to. So we're kind of excited to see where this goes and hear parts of their story and just talk about why they do what they do. And we're excited to hear that. So welcome to the show.
Thanks for having us, Chris. Appreciate it.
It's definitely our pleasure. Um, so I always like to start the show out the same is, we're in a tough season right now for most businesses. How has COVID affected what you do? And what have you done to kind of maneuver through this crazy maze?
Well, that's a great question. It certainly has been a crazy world for all of us. No question about that. I think overall, for Nic Tailor, it's been good from the standpoint people are working from home. We even had a Nic Tailor No Pants campaign that, you're going to be sitting where you are right now and where we are, or people working from their homes or other remote spots that might as well be sitting in comfy Nic Tailor custom fit underwear. So that's been not all negative. I mean, it's been a challenge, as we all know, but
Yeah.
overall it's been, I think, good for us from a standpoint of really pushing it. There's no reason to wear pants these days. You're going to be sitting at home, you might as well be comfortable.
Most definitely. That's like for us. And of course, neighbors are cutting grass right now. Um, but that's like for us, we launched this show January of 2020, a couple months before COVID hit. And, our original purpose was to kind of build a show. We had 100 interviews our first year, and we thought that would be great, great foundation. And then COVID hits. And I told Sandy, this could be our year to shine because, new show, we'd probably have people that normally wouldn't come on a new show be willing to come on because what's everybody else doing now? They're all at home.
Exactly. Exactly right.
And because of that, we end up doing over 300 interviews last year.
Wow. That's terrific.
So for us, it kind of helped out too, with COVID. Not that we take it lightly,
Right.
but it's one of them things where you know what, you got to find that silver lining, like y'all were doing.
Exactly right. Couldn't agree more.
So tell us a little bit about why your underwear and what started this.
Well, it started from too much vodka. Um, Over happy hour one day with Audie and our other partner Nolan, who's not on this call, but we just felt like there was a real need out there for truly customized underwear. I mean, everybody now markets, small, medium, large, XL, 2XL, whatever. Nic Tailor's real difference is that we customize if you're 31 or you're 33 or you're 43, we're going to make it for you. And we offer it in 4 different lengths. So we had no interest in just kind of being a me too and, joining. There's already some monster behemoth underwear companies out there and they do a great job, but we felt like there was a niche to have the truly customized, access. It just wasn't out there at this point. I don't know if you want to add anything.
And then also to offer the additional seat. You can pick your seat in slim, regular, or large, and also offer 2 different growing sizes.
Yeah, the groin sizes have been interesting. People that have a certain perception that they might be, shall we say, more well endowed than they realize once their wife sees them.
There's a benefit, right?
Yeah,
we did get a return.
we did.
The guy ordered a large seat and a large growing, and
Oh wow!
he emailed me for the return. He said, "And by the way, my wife told me I have no rear end and a small growing. So can I please return these and reorder?"
So tell us y'all's backstory, each of y'all, on that led you up to that point of launching this. What did y'all do before this?
Well, I was actually in a manufacturing business. Totally non-related to anything to do with apparel at all. It was like industrial valves for chemical plants, refineries, pharmaceutical companies, fire protection. And how we got together, Nolan, our other partner, he and I have been friends for 40 years. We had another friend that introduced us to Audie. And Audie does have we couldn't have Nic Tailor if it wasn't for Audie Cooper, that's for sure. You don't want me designing anything, Chris. Nothing. Zero.
And And then Chris, I come in from manufacturing, from textiles. I worked in Southern USA, started out, and then saw all the manufacturing go overseas. So I went overseas and worked for about 5 years, and have been fortunate enough to work with companies and then back here in the United States to bring product lines from concept through manufacturing to retail. So it's something I thoroughly enjoy.
And you're the one that worked for like Ralph Lauren and others like that, huh?
Yes, the company I was working for at the time, I was fortunate enough to be lead on
Oh,
the
wow.
Polo Ralph Lauren men's underwear development team. So yeah, and then have worked with them on several other products, and then went to a department store chain located here in the South and was able to do menswear and children's wear.
So you've pretty much been around menswear a lot of your life.
I have also had about a 5-year stint with women's lingerie.
Oh,
So
wow.
I figured if I could fit a bra, I could make a custom pair of men's underwear.
I love that. So who are some of y'all's design influences that's kind of helped prepare you for this?
We benchmarked Mack Weldon, Tommy John, Polo Ralph Lauren, Calvin Klein, and took it to the point that as we started developing the product, where Nolan objects to seams up against his body.
Right.
So we wound up with a men's pair of underwear.
He objects to a lot of things.
So a men's pair of underwear that has no seams in the back.
Oh, wow.
Seams and they're in the front and front only. So, and then a gusset seam for fit. So that is how that evolved and came to our product. We wanted it upper end, so we use a micro model Supima yarn that is very wicking, very nice fabric.
Oh, cool. Definitely love that. So tell us a little bit about the business model and the struggle. You know, a lot of people, when they see CEOs of companies and stuff, they see, oh, wow, you know, they're doing great and this. But to get there as a CEO, and even as a CEO, the struggles, and especially through a pandemic, tell us some of the things that y'all have had to fight through to get to where you are today. Because I think that sometimes people miss that side of it. They want to start this great business. They got this great idea, but they miss that it's not easy or everybody be doing it.
It is not easy. I can tell you, this is a first for the two of us and our partner to launch a startup company, primarily e-commerce. We have a couple, high-end men boutique stores that have Nic Tailor in inventory, but it's been a real challenge. We've been in this together about 3 years. We launched about almost 2 years ago now, as far as going live with this. But a lot of the challenges too have been, just the marketing side, getting the brand out. We had a firm that we started with in New York. They did some great things for us, but we just didn't really feel like we were getting the brand. And it's tough trying to compete with the people we mentioned, Tommy John and Mack Weldon. They've got, they're huge.
They got the big money behind them.
They got the big money behind them. I mean, I'm sick of looking at Tommy John ads on the golf channel as much as I like watching golf channels.
Like, you need to be there.
That's right. So that's still a challenge for us because we just don't have the resources to compete with those guys. So what we did, we made a change. We hired, Casey Kitchen, who's been a godsend for us, helping. Like, we wouldn't be here with you if it wasn't for her, and appreciate that. But that woman doesn't sleep, I don't think. But she's got great energy. I mean, we had an hour call with her yesterday. We hired a new website, social media group out of Florida, Mike Kathman. In between what Mike's doing and what Casey's doing, we feel like our only regret really is that we didn't make this change a year and a half ago. But it's still, we can't sit here and tell you we're killing it right now, because we're not. We've got a long way to go, but it's starting to trend the right way. But it's tough, as you said. People don't realize you can just look at that guy. Well, that's easier. That was a no-brainer. But there's been a lot of long hours. I mean, we're getting ready to introduce. So we just had a meeting here. Right before we hopped on with you, we're going to introduce and launch a line of loungewear for both women.
Wow.
And men. So we're going to get you and Sandy we'll get you some underwear and get her and you some loungewear to, that's something else we think is a natural progression. We're also going to introduce right now, we have a no-fly concept. We're going to introduce a horizontal fly soon as well, because I assume people just want to fly. That's fine. So we're going to make it.
Oh, wow.
Again, what that does too, and our big challenge with Nic Tailor's been, we've got over 2,200 SKUs now without adding anything. So, the customizations, but somehow Audie's kept his sanity with all this and all the SKUs. So, but it has not been easy. And again, it's still a challenge every day for us.
And Chris,
Now go ahead.
let me add that we could have had this product from China, Vietnam, Korea in 3 or 4 months from when we just started this. I thought, working in the southern United States, I thought it would be fairly easy to find the fabrics, the yarns, the manufacturers.
You would think.
It took us over a year.
Wow.
That is how much of it's gone away. We're seeing parts of it come back. So yeah, that was a huge challenge in itself.
Now, would you say that the pandemic kind of hurt that?
The pandemic hurt us because of the laws here in the state where they literally were closing the manufacturing facilities. We were fortunate enough that we had a sewing line that was making surgical masks for Florida, which allowed us to still operate and actually produce through the pandemic.
Wow. And you want to do an American-made company, and then they make it so hard to stay American-made.
No kidding. You're right. You're absolutely right.
That's the crazy part about our country, and I love our country, and I know y'all do too, because you want to be American-made. But I tell you, some of the red tape just makes it so difficult to operate in the way that is American.
No doubt.
And Chris, and to pay a living wage, that's very important to us. I mean, that's part of our costing structure.
Oh, wow.
The product is the price that it is.
And I'm proud that you said that, because again, I think that that's something that people miss too, is we're moving into an era where if you're not paying at least $15 an hour, you're going to be out of business. It's just,
Yep.
I think that a lot of business owners now, if your model could never support that, now may be the time to change directions, because I think that that's coming, whether business owners like it or not. It's coming. It's here. And they got about 3 to 5 year window to prepare for that.
Yep, couldn't agree more.
And I think, and I actually, I got mixed emotions on the whole minimum wage thing, because when I was growing up, it was $3.35 an hour, and I've done the math, and I'm like, okay, well, $3.35 an hour when I was growing up. Most things have tripled in price since then, so that would be $10.05 an hour. So I think if it would equal when I was growing up, it'd be $10 an hour. So I noticed that y'all also have done a lot of stuff with prostate cancer. Tell us about that.
Yeah, it just seemed like a natural thing for us. We have another option available that's basically it's made with the extra 2 layers. Certain people that have problems when they go to the bathroom, when they think they're through going to the bathroom, we call it a dry fly option as well. And it seemed like perfect timing to team up with the Prostate Cancer Foundation. We're an amazing group. We've been on a couple calls with them. Them having like doctors on from different prostate cancer facilities that really are making a difference. The biggest message we're trying to get out there with them jointly is the early detection. It's just something that can't be caught early enough, and it's had a stigma attached to it, which we don't really understand. But it's such a serious. I mean, who doesn't know somebody directly, indirectly, family, non-family that's been touched by this this terrible disease? And we were fortunate enough too that we were able to team up with Peter Facinelli, who himself obviously is a tremendous actor, director, writer. His own father is a prostate cancer survivor, thank God.
Wow.
And Peter's been great. He helped us with our Nic Tailor No Pants campaign, but been right on board with teaming up with the Prostate Cancer Foundation to really try to make a difference and make people aware.
Oh, wow. I love that. Now, you told a little bit about your team. One thing I like to do in our show is give the business owners or other people a chance to kind of brag on their team a little bit, so to speak. Because as you know, the teams behind the people don't really get any recognition. They don't get the love they deserve. And I always want to make sure teams get that love. So if you want to take a few minutes to just tell us about the team around you. I know you did talk about your PR person. Is there any other people you'd like to kind of recognize?
Yes, it'd be all the ladies on the sewing floor.
Yeah, absolutely.
It'd be the people that spread and cut the goods. Just great, down to earth people.
Good work ethic.
Good work ethic, and just, yes, we're there every day.
Good old Southern honest people down here.
I love that. And we've got a third, even though Sandy's not here because she's with our little one right now, but we have also got a third co-host, our little one, little Chris, and we always bring on to ask a question to each of the guests. And hopefully Sandy's sending him in right now because she's listening. But we're a family affair show, so we always want to make sure we include our kids into it. And we've got a almost 2-year-old little daughter that eventually, when she gets older, we'll be plugging her into the show too.
That's awesome. That's great. Love hearing that.
Again, what good is building any type of brand, business, whatever, if you can't involve your kids?
Agree. I mean, I've got 2 daughters and a son that at some point, once we get Nic Tailor a little more entrenched, more market share, I can't think of 3 people I'd rather bring in than all 3 of my kids. I'd love to have them involved. And I think the audience feels the same way. Hey, pal.
Oh, hi guys. So, what's your favorite food?
Oh, go first, Cal.
What?
Favorite food?
Oh, I would say pizza. How about you?
Pizza.
Yep.
Good choice.
He sees you on that one.
I have to say Japanese.
Oh, wow. And your next question?
Okay, what's your favorite TV show?
Favorite TV show? Wow.
Mine would have to be Nova.
Oh, wow.
Trying to think, guys. I don't watch regular TV. I'm trying to think here.
We watch a lot of kid stuff because, of course, we've got a 9-year-old and a
How about
almost
SpongeBob?
2-year-old.
How about SpongeBob?
Ooh,
And what's yours?
SpongeBob.
There we go.
And he loves the Minions show because he's got the Minion shirt.
Oh yeah.
Stand up a bit.
See your
All right.
shirt, pal. I love it. Yeah, my 2 daughters are obsessed with the Minions for sure.
Yeah. So, our little 2-year-old. It's funny when the movie plays, the Despicable Me, she'll start dancing. She gets excited and she calls them memes.
I'm not sure it says something good or bad about me, Chris. That I enjoy the kids' movies like Despicable Me probably more than my kids. I mean,
Sandy and I do too. Sometimes he'll be watching the shows, and then he'll leave, and we end up still watching it. And an hour later, we're like, "Oh, he ain't even watching."
yeah, it's like I tell my girls, like, "Can we go see Shrek again?"
Hey, guess what? That one time that Shrek Forever After came on Nick.
Yeah, he loved that too.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one. I'm with you, pal.
And what's been pretty cool is he watches a lot of Nickelodeon shows, and so we've been able to bring on a handful, about 5 or 6 people from Nickelodeon onto our show. So he's gotten to talk to some of the people that he kind of looks up to.
That's great. That is great. That's great.
Bye, thanks.
Have you been? Hold on, pal. Have you been to Disney World?
Not yet.
Yeah.
There you go. Come on, what's wrong with mom and dad? You got to go to Disney World. Let's go.
We gotta go,
Yeah.
huh?
We'll take you ourselves.
They'll take you.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yes. Bye, thanks.
Hey, great seeing you, pal. Take care.
Great seeing you too.
Yeah, I can't imagine doing the show without him now. And I hate it for some, when we got multiple shows in a day, Sandy's got to pick and choose which one's going to be on. And I got 4 back to back to back later. So that's the artist one. So CRS. So she'll be doing them with me. But we love doing all this together as a couple, as a family. Um, so what are y'all doing to build around your family?
As far as family,
Yeah. What do y'all think about that? I mean, are y'all including family into your business model? And
yeah, the business that I mentioned earlier that I was in the industrial, that was a family business
oh
over
wow.
years. We were actually third generation with that. So
Oh
it's
cool.
grandfather, then my father, then my brother and sister and I for 40 plus years. So we are all about, and love hearing your story about you and Sandy getting your kids involved. And again, as far as Nic Tailor goes, we want to get this company big enough and healthy enough to have, I'd love to have, there's nothing I love more than to have my 3 kids involved with this for
That'd
sure.
be awesome.
I can't overstate how much I love the fact you guys have your family involved. I think there's no substitute for that.
Yeah. And that was something we first launched the show is I wanted to make sure because since we do this from home anyway, and they're here, and I was like, you know what, because of course there's a lot of professions that you can't do that with, and I get that. So I'm like, well, if you can do that, why not do that? Because again, I want him to see. Because one thing I've learned with kids is if you want your kids to live out their passion and purpose in life, they've got a front row seat to yours. So if
Absolutely.
so you live out yours with them, and
Yeah.
I believe that eventually they will grow into their own passion.
Yeah. Yeah. Couldn't agree more. It's you got a nice young guy there. It's pretty articulate and good eye contact and all that stuff. You guys are raising him well at such a young age.
Well, we definitely appreciate that. And what's funny is when we had a local business here in Savannah, we would do a lot of the networking stuff before Caitlin came along. So we would go and I don't know if up north it would be different if they'd allow this, but here in the South, we would actually go to networking events, business events, and have him with us when he was 6, 7, and 8 years old, and he would be with us, and they would love it, and he would get to meet all these business people and all that. So and we were like, granted, we didn't. There were certain events we knew not to take, but but if it was just a generic networking event, I'm like, why not?
Sure, absolutely. So you guys are in Savannah?
Yeah.
What a great town.
We're planning on moving out to Nashville probably in the next 12 months.
There's another great town.
Yeah, because and it's funny, because I'm sure y'all understand this with business is sometimes you have to pivot, and what your original mission was isn't always the mission that leads you to where you want to go.
Correct.
And when we started this show, we started it with it was interviewing up and coming country artists because that was kind of our base. That was we got a lot of contacts in Nashville, so that's what we started with. And then as we started growing last year, we ended up pivoting to being a music show. Then by September last year, we realized, okay, there's another component to this, the whole entertainment industry.
Right.
So then we pulled actors into it starting September, October-ish last year. So we pivoted a little bit more. And now we're pivoting where it's business and entertainment. Because yesterday we actually had the former CEO of Chipotle on.
Okay.
Oh my God, my son drives race cars besides going to college, and I'd love to. Why don't you make a connection? He eats Chipotle like 7 times a week. I think Chipotle should sponsor my son's racing career.
Y'all should you should go back to our shows because it was really good. We spent an hour with him,
Wow.
and he really talked a lot of leadership stuff, and it was amazing what he was talking about, how he transformed Chipotle when he became CEO.
That's a great story, and good
So,
too.
so what's next for y'all? Would y'all say what over the next 5 years?
I think continue to offer, branching as you talk about pivoting. I mean, we talked about like loungewear, but that was all of a sudden, like you talk about pivoting, that was basically a decision made yesterday to pivot and add.
Oh, wow.
And who knows what's going to come. We're going to get more and more into women's like tank tops and, pajamas and different. I mean, we think the real great opportunity for us is probably more on the women's side of things.
Oh,
And I mean, women tend to spend more money than men, and they know what they like, whether it's customized bras or whatever they're wearing. I mean, that's going to be our thing with Nic Tailor. Women can get customized bras. Why can't men get customized underwear?
that's
Uh,
true.
so I think,
Because us men, we just grab it and go.
yeah, exactly, exactly. So I think just different, additional sizes or not sizes, different options, different colors, patterns. So I think that's, kind of an evolution of things from where we are now. You talk about the next 3, 4, 5 years, and
Yeah.
it's a changing market. We think it's going to continue to grow, especially again on that type of products like the loungewear and women's offerings as well.
Now, didn't y'all have a celebrity endorse you?
We
And
did. Peter Facinelli.
Mhm.
He was, you may remember him from the Twilight series. He also wrote, produced, and starred in a movie that's like #2 in Netflix now called The Vanished.
Oh, wow.
Which, if you haven't seen it, you got to watch it. It's pretty suspenseful. It's well done. But Peter again's been a great. He may not appreciate me calling him a teammate, but we're very grateful to Peter Facinelli for supporting Nic Tailor. And again, back to the Prostate Cancer Foundation, he was very, very front and center with that.
Wow, I love that story. Now, how did that connection happen with him?
Through Casey Kitchen.
Oh,
She handles a lot of Peter's, obviously, PR type stuff for him. And when she first got with us, she thought this might be a real
perfect link.
perfect link. So that's really how it evolved.
And it's funny, you always hear people say it's not what you know, it's who you know.
Yeah,
I always like to stretch it one step further. It's not even just who you know, but it's who knows you.
exactly.
Because when you could know the person, but if they don't really know you, the connection's not there.
Exactly. You're right.
And so with y'all, with the connection with her, she knows you and she knew him. She realized, oh, this is the perfect fit.
Yeah.
I love that because when it comes to business, connection is everything.
Yeah.
Networking is everything.
Oh yeah. It's all about relationships. I don't care if you're personal life, business, friends, family, whatever. It's no substitute for friendships and relationships. Again, that's how this thing's evolved. It's exciting to do it that way too. I mean, it's still a people world, people business.
And that's the thing that scares me. You watch all the social media stuff, and yes, we're on social media and all that with the videos and all that. And I love social media, but sometimes you watch people and they get so cooped up in social media that they're not living life.
Right.
And it's like, that's not reality. What people post on social media is their highlight reel. You don't see the grind behind them.
Right. Exactly. You're right.
So as we come to a close here, tell us a little bit of advice you would give somebody who, whether maybe they're just starting out in business or they've already started business and they're trying to grow it, but they really don't have much money and and not much expertise, whatever, but they do know the exact thing that they're trying to build. What kind of advice would you give that type of person as they try to grow their brand?
I think first of all, I mean, chase your passion. Understand too if you don't necessarily have the financial resources as a startup, but chase your dream and again network with people and you never know. You could have somebody that just randomly decide, God, I want to help this young man or young woman out with their business. I think there's no substitute too for the entrepreneur spirit in this country, and I just think you just got to chase your dreams and be share that passion, and it generally leads you to where you want to end up ultimately.
And that's like our show here. The show don't make money yet. We hope one day eventually it will, but right now the show doesn't. And we're grinding it out and grinding it out.
We
And
can
I think that's
we can relate.
so it's like you wonder when the dollar is going to come, but you also know that if you back off, the momentum will thing. And we got so many great people that have come on, like a Randy Travis. We've had actor Ed Asner come on. We've had Allie Brooke and Lee Bryce, and so we've had really great people that are, as we grow, and it's getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And we had Sarah Evans as recently too, which was really cool. But we're building and building and building and building, not knowing when it's going to get to that point where all of a sudden it explodes. But we're excited. And this is our passion. But it took us I bet we went through 100 business ideal failures in the 18 years of our marriage.
Wow.
It's just this. We tried this, it didn't work. We tried this, it didn't work. We tried this and tried this and tried that. And then all of a sudden we come to a point where we launched this crazy idea of a show and we just fell in love with it. Now we just got to figure out how to make our money for us.
Well, just seeing your personality, and I'm sure your wife and then meeting your son, that you guys are going to kick butt with this for sure. I mean, it's something you're passionate about, and it'll succeed. I mean, we hope the same thing for Nic Tailor, because again, it's been not been easy. It's been a struggle, and we'd like to start making some money too.
And I always like to tell that story too a little bit, because I know that a lot of times the entrepreneurs understand exactly where we're coming from, because we're right in the middle of this with them. Some people see the show and they think, okay, we have 30 minutes of fun or an hour of fun, however long our show goes. But they don't see the behind the scenes,
Right.
all the work that we have to put into this before the show, after the show, and there's so much work involved. And I always want to talk about that side like we did earlier, because I think a lot of people miss the boat when it comes to how much work being self-employed really is.
Yeah, people just don't have an appreciation unless you experience it like you guys are firsthand, and like we are.
Mhm.
Yeah, a lot of blood, sweat, and tears in it. It's not quite always as fun as it looks. Behind the scenes and the grinding away, as you say, it takes a lot of dedication. You got to work through it.
Amen to that. Now, as we end here, any final parting words?
Well, we'd love for people to follow us on our website, nictailor.com. Also, we're on Instagram and Facebook. So, and we really appreciate you taking the time to have Audie and me on your show. We think you've got great dynamic personality, so not surprised that you'll do very well. And we just really appreciate the opportunity to talk about Nic Tailor and talk about your business and family as well.
I appreciate that. And you're welcome to come back anytime. We really enjoyed having you on.
Well, thanks so much, Chris. Take
So
care.
as you get any big news, think of our show as the breaking one for you.
No doubt. You're going to get full credit, buddy.
All right. We'll talk with you soon.